Yo, what's happening everybody, King GPL here and welcome back to your brand new Go Battle League video. Today we're going to be trying out a team with Lurantis. I decided to build a team and I wanted to see if we could actually make a good line with Lurantis. It's fairly highly rated in PvPoke, but I really just haven't seen a lot of it. Of course it gets countered very hard by certain Pokemon in this meta, so of course there's plenty of reasons not to run it. This Pokemon absolutely hates to see Ariados. So I thought I'm going to try to make a team around it. And this team I made, actually, it's got A for coverage, B for bulk, B for safety, and A for consistency if you're running counter, or B for consistency if you're running Psycho Cut. I actually do switch to Psycho Cut a little bit later on in the video, but as you guys can see, we're about to throw off the superpower. The Porygon Shield's the first one, and let's the second one go. We've got our Lurantis on the Alamomola, which is basically exactly where we want it. We're going to fire off the first Leaf Blade, the opponent goes for the shield, and we decide, okay, we'll throw off the second one, see how much damage it does. Big bulky Alamomola, and that's like a very fast charging move too. It does about half health to that, so definitely very happy with that. At this point we can come in with the Medicham, go for a couple of Psychics if need be, and yeah, there's no real way the opponent can get their way out of this one. I think they've actually closed their phone app at this point, because they realise it's basically over. The Psychic actually just about did not take that Alamomola out. This is a very, very bulky fish, but GG's to the opponent right there. Hopping into the second game, guys, Electrode is a very positive matchup for Medi, so we can go ahead and stay in here, because these counters just absolutely run through it. And it is still a positive matchup when you're running Psycho Cut, because you charge your moves a lot faster. You get to the Ice Punch in 5, and you get to the Psychic in 7, and then the second time round you get to it in 6. So it makes Medicham very spammy, which can be quite useful in this. I would recommend going for Dynamic Punch if you're going to go for Psychic Cut instead of Ice Punch. But as you can see, we take out the Porygon the Electrode very easily there. The opponent is going to get off a lunge, but we will be able to get off. I'm trying to go for an Ice Punch and a Psychic here, because I know the opponent is going to shield this. Can we just about make it to the Psychic? We settle for the Ice Punch, but the opponent CMPs us, and they're going to take out the Medi. Guys, if you hear the kids in the background, they're just going mad downstairs, so don't pay too much attention to it. But this is an okay matchup here. We've got a little bit of damage done to the Ariados, and I'm expecting a catch here, but they're going to go for another move here, and I'm very cognizant that they might try to catch it on something. They get the attack rise, and we're like, okay, let's just get this spammy spider out of here. Definitely my favorite Pokemon in this league. And in comes Aloe, and it's a top left right there. GG's to the opponent. That's where Lurantis is really good. I feel like it's a really good closer. Lurantis actually wins some surprising matchups. It can beat Macargo, because the Leaf Blade does neutral damage, and Superpower will basically one-shot it. We've got an okay matchup here. We've got Medicham into Alamomola. We're going to go for the Psychic right here, see how much damage it's going to do. Can we get a defense drop? I was pretty unlucky with these defense drops. I decided to catch a Psychic on my big fish. The opponent throws it off here, it does very little damage. I'm actually staying in here, so I'm kind of like, okay, why are you staying in here? Why do you not swap out to your Electrode or something? Obviously they don't have one. So I'm thinking, is there any chance this is like a fish double flyer line? I've seen that a few times where they've got like Talonflame. And yeah, so in comes Crustle actually. I was thinking it'll be like maybe Charizard Talonflame or something like that, but Crustle's quite good, as you can see. Like, he was able to farm down my Alamomola, and you know, we've got him pretty low, so we'll go for this shield right here. Yeah, I was expecting the Talonflame. That's why I decided to shield up, because if they have like a Talonflame or a Charizard in the back, this Lurantis is completely useless and hopeless against it. We're gonna throw off an Ice Punch right here. The opponent will shield that up, and at this point, can we build up for the big Psychic right here? The opponent froze here, and that was a big mistake, because I was not getting to that move. But that actually allows me to get to the Psychic, which, is that just about going to take out the Talon? Yeah, it basically one-shots the Talon, and we can come in with our Lurantis, and look how spammy this thing is. We're already at a Leaf Blade, basically. And yeah, the X's are super effective, but we can tank that, and that's going to be a GG. Like I said, Lurantis is definitely better in a closing situation. You don't want to sort of swap into it. It's a horrible safe swap. You will just get absolutely obliterated if you safe swap it in. So definitely the Alamomola is more of your safe swap on this team. But this team, it's kind of tough to run. Like, you sort of do have to stay in against less advantageous matchups. Like, if you get a Charizard lead, you have to stay in. Or if you get like a Talonflame lead, stay in. If you get anything that basically will destroy your Lurantis, you have to stay in against it, because Lurantis cannot do any damage to it. This matchup right here, I get a couple of moves off. I'm down a shield. Again, I'm going to keep my Medi just to be on the safe side, just in case there is something I need it against. And again, the opponent's not swapping out, which I thought was quite weird here. Do you have a flying type in the back? Or yeah, so here comes the Blaziken, bro. You know what? I'm actually probably going to run Blaziken tomorrow. This is just giving me an idea. Do I even have a Torchic? I'm going to have a look. But this is just absolutely chunking. We're going to shield this up as well, because this thing will absolutely destroy my backline. So we're going to get rid of that. And in comes Macargo. We're going to go for the Psychic. And like I said, this is going to be a surprising matchup. We swap into the Lurantis right here. Now this actually does not one-shot. So if you're going to do this, you can basically go for the Leaf Blade first, or go for 2 Leaf Blades, I think. I should just about take it out. But look how spammy this thing is. It is a very, very strong closer, and if you get good alignment with it, it spams off moves very quickly. I definitely want to run like a triple spam line. I think Lurantis, Miltank, and Ariados is probably the spammiest free I can think of off the rip. Now, is this where we swap out to Psycho Cut? Yeah. So look at this matchup right here. So we've got a Psycho Cut Medi. We're beating the Uller Medi to the Psychic. Now at this stage, the opponent's like, what? This is a Psychic? How did they get there so fast? I'm going to have to throw a Power Punch bait. And I'm like, yeah, nah, I can... Oh, they actually throw the Psychic. Maybe it's a different match I'm thinking of, but... Yeah, we can just go ahead and throw Psychics here. We'll just basically match the opponent on shields. And can the opponent... No, they can't get to another move, so... we take that out pretty cleanly. And this is where, like I said, Dynamic Punch would be a little bit better. These Miltank matchups are not that comfortable. But this is fine. I think at this point we can come in with anything here. Can I get to another Psychic? We do. Rollout is just such a weak move. The opponent is going to have to take this. But no, they decide to double shield the Miltank. So I'm like, okay, is it Lurantis time right here? I'm in superpower this big tank. You know, I love the animation for Lurantis, bro, because it just, look how much spinning it does. It looks ridiculous. Like, even when I'm playing this in 2x speed, but even in 1x speed, it looks ridiculous. Look how spammy this big Miltank is, though. Am I going to double shield the Lurantis right here? I think I am. Just to be on the safe side, because they sometimes do have the Alamomola sitting in the back. So I'm like, okay, we're going to one-shot that thing. And in comes the Licky Tongue. Now, this does no Power Whip, which, again, Licky Tongue is a pretty spammy Pokemon too. Does a decent amount of damage, but we will be able to get off the big Hydro Pump. It's getting close. It is getting close, but we're going to get off the big Hydro Pump, which is going to do a ton of damage. And it's going to put this into a range where we can basically take it out with either Pokemon. The opponent is forced to throw here, and there's no way they're getting to, yeah, a couple of moves. So GG's to the opponent right there. We're going to come into the next one here, and it's another Medi versus Medi. Definitely, guys, you're seeing the benefits of Psycho Cut right here. So I'm just thinking the same thing. I'm going to throw the bait this time, which I don't know if it's necessarily the best play, but the opponent shields it up, which is fantastic. And they're like, oh no, I'm going to have to throw a bait myself. Power Punch, haha. This time we're going to throw the Psychic, because the opponent probably does not know the counts for Psycho Cut. They let that one through, and at this point we're just dominating this matchup. I could shield this up, but, you know, there's no need to, really. The opponent does actually near enough one-shot us, so I suppose there was a need to shield it up, but we've got a shield advantage, so I'm like, okay, let's go in for a big farm with Lurantis here. Let's go for a big farm, and we'll get up to, like, 2 superpowers, and yeah, here comes the Macargo. We're going to fire for the Leaf Blade right here. The opponent probably knows we're running superpower, but they let that go anyway. And as you can see, the Leaf Blades do about half health anyway to the Macargo, because it is neutral damage, so we get the shields off the opponent, we'll swap in, and the opponent doesn't even get to a move right there, which is fantastic. In comes the Electrode. Now, are we going to commit to the big Hydro Pump on the Electrode? Yes, we are. It takes a while for the opponent to get to these, so we're going to go for the big Hydro Pump, which is going to just, I don't know, wash away this Electrode. Yeah, look at that. Good night. And in comes the weak Medi. Yeah, they had to try to farm up a bunch of energy or do something there, like, there wasn't a whole lot they could have done. GG's to the opponent right there. And that just sort of shows, like I said, the strengths of having that Medicham. It definitely helps a lot with the Psycho Cut. I was running into a lot of Ariadoses as well, which is basically a bit of a problem for both of my backline. So I decided the Psycho Cut might be necessary, and it helps even in these matchups against the Talonflame, because we can get to these Ice Punches that much quicker. Did I throw in good timing there? I'm not 100% sure, but we'll throw off this Ice Punch. We're basically going to shield this. Sometimes they just go straight for the Brave Bird and dip, which is what I would do. Like, that's what I enjoy doing with Talonflames, honestly. Brave Bird and dip. But they let the second Ice Punch go. Now we're going to go for the Psychic here. I'm not sure if it's absolutely necessary, but we do build up to the Psychic anyway. And yeah, we can actually just go for Ice Punches at this point. We should be able to take this matchup right here. And we're committing to the Psychic. I should have thrown the Ice Punch. So that was my mistake right there. I'm not sure if the Ice Punch would have just took out, but nonetheless, we can come in with Alamomola here. I should have swapped straight out here to my Lurantis. But yeah, I let the opponent get a little bit of energy here. In comes the Thunderbolt, which does a ton of damage. Right here, I should be swapping out as well. But yeah, we finally do make the swap out. And the opponent's going to go for a Body Slam here, which will do a decent amount of damage. Like, Lurantis is definitely a little bit glassy. We're going to farm up a little bit more and go for this Leaf Blade, which will hopefully take out the Miltank. And of course the opponent's going to come back in with the Talonflame, which, as you're about to see, is just going to absolutely just destroy this thing. But strangely enough, they come in with Scrafty. I'm like, why are you doing this? What is the point in this now? I guess the opponent didn't want me to farm them down, but there's no way I'm farming it down. Like, we go for this Leaf Blade here as well. And yeah, GG's to Scrafty. We're going to swap in. And yeah, GG's. Anyway, guys, try out this team. It's pretty fun. If you get good alignment, Lurantis can be a ton of fun to use. I wouldn't say this is like the most meta team in the world. Definitely running some teams with Ariados. And a few other Pokemon might be a little bit better, but Lurantis would do pretty well against Slowbros and stuff too, with the Fury Cutter and the Leaf Blade. So if you're seeing a ton of Slowbros, Slowkings, even if you're still seeing Macargos, which I don't really see that much of anymore, definitely consider running this team. Guys, drop a like in the video, drop a sub, feel free to add me on Pokemon Go and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys next time.